University Challenge. Asking the questions, and more working.
Hello and welcome to University Challenge, where we're about to play the second of this year's repechage matches. The two teams returning tonight both lost their opening games, but scored enough points in doing so to earn themselves one more shot at qualifying for the second round. This playoff, however, really is their last chance. Lose again and they'll be out of the competition. The team from Durham University faced Oriel College Oxford in their first round match and by the halfway mark had what looked like a fairly comfortable lead, helped by their knowledge of chess, literature and classical music. After the music round, however, Oriel rallied and the last 5 minutes of the match were very closely fought, with Oriel only just coming out on top. Durham are the second highest scoring team in this year's playoffs, having finished their match on 165 points. Let's meet them once again.
Hi, I'm Joe Ansell. I'm originally from South Gloucestershire and I'm reading history.
Hi, I'm Amelia Brookfield-Persizzini. I'm from Balham, South London, and I'm quite literally reading English literature.
And their captain.
Good evening, my name's Jake Roberts. I'm from Goose Street in Cheshire and I'm reading physics.
Hi, I'm Luke Nash. I'm originally from Hindle Veston in North Norfolk and I'm studying for a Masters in Biology.
Their opponents tonight are this year's team from SOAS, who lost their opening match to St Edmund Hall, Oxford. St Edmund Hall led that game from the start, but SOAS stayed within touching distance right up until the gong and could have overtaken them at several points if they'd made just a little bit more of their bonuses. They still finished on a solid score of 155, thanks to some excellent answers on sociology and Bantu languages, and a couple of very impressive buzzes on literature. Let's meet them for the second time.
Hi, I'm Janet Delves. I'm originally from Oxenhope in West Yorkshire, now from London, and I'm studying for an MA in the History of Art and Archaeology.
Hi, I'm Ella Dawn. I'm from Hertfordshire and I'm studying for a BA in Chinese and Linguistics.
And their captain.
Hi, I'm Tom Hasler. I'm from Taunton in Somerset and I'm studying for a BSc in Development Economics.
Hi, I'm Cameron Lambert. I'm from Trevelack in Shropshire and I'm studying for a BA in Global Development.
Nice to see you guys. You feeling ready?
Absolutely, yeah.
All right, fingers on buzzers. Here's your first starter for 10. Good luck. I need the name of a building here. A lectern topped with an eagle sculpture by Elizabeth Frink. A monumental tapestry titled Christ in Glory in the Tetramorph by Graham Sutherland. And a bronze sculpture by Jacob Epstein of St.
Durham Roberts.
Liverpool Cathedral.
Now, I'm afraid you lose 5 points. You can hear a bit more of the question, but you may not confer, SOAS. And a bronze sculpture by Jacob Epstein of St Michael's victory over the devil are among notable works of art in which English cathedral?
SOAS Delves.
Coventry.
It is Coventry Cathedral, yes. Your bonuses, SOAS, are 3 questions on a television series. Which Mexican film director created a 2022 anthology series for Netflix known as his Cabinet of Curiosities, in which he presents 8 personally curated tales of terror by different horror directors?
Del Toro makes sense, he's horror, right?
Nominate Lambert.
Guillermo del Toro?
Does make a lot of sense, yeah. Which Iranian filmmaker directed the 4th story of the series concerning a skincare product that has horrifying effects on its users? Her feature films include The Bad Batch and A Girl Walks Home Alone at Night.
No, don't know.
OK, pass.
That's Anna Lily Amirpour. The final film of the series, The Murmuring, is by which Australian director? It marked her second collaboration with actor Essie Davis, who had also starred in her earlier film, The Babadook.
Nothing.
OK. Pass.
It's Jennifer Kent. With a name derived from the Greek for to carry, what did P. Carlson and M. Lusher define in 1959 as substances that are secreted to the outside by an individual and received by a second individual, in which they release a specific reaction? They moderate social behaviours such as coordinating insect
Durham Nash.
Pheromones?
It is pheromones, yes. Also useful for attracting mates. Your bonuses, Durham, are on towns or cities that lie almost precisely on the Greenwich Meridian. 5 points for each you can name from the description. First, a Pyrenean town of southern France. Since 1858, it has become a site for pilgrimage following reported apparitions of the Virgin Mary to a miller's daughter, Bernadette Soubirous.
He's Lord, I think.
Lord, yeah.
Lord.
Yes. Second, a city in the Valencia community of Spain. Its football team beat Manchester United to win the 2021 Europa League final to date their only major silverware?
Oh, where's Villarreal? I think it's Villarreal.
Villarreal.
Yeah, but that's not the name of the town.
Any ideas?
Valencia, you've got
Valencia's-
Alicante, you've got
It's going to really annoy me. I like the second one more.
Alicante.
Alicante.
No, it is Villarreal.
Oh.
Finally, a city lying just west of the Greenwich Meridian, whose name comes from an Akan word for ant. It became a national capital in 1957.
This is Accra. We happy with that?
Yeah, Accra.
Accra.
Accra is correct, yes. Let's start the question now. Argentina has 23. Pakistan has 4. The People's Republic of China administers 22. And Canada has 10.
SOAS Hasler.
Provinces?
It is provinces. Well done, yes. Your bonuses, SOAS, are on a probability distribution. What probability distribution is the continuous analogue of the geometric distribution? It has a particular memoryless property such that the time for an event to occur is not conditional on any time that has already passed.
Poisson? Poisson?
No, it's exponential distribution. The exponential distribution with parameter t is a special case of which continuous probability distribution when its shape parameter is set to 1 and its rate parameter is set to t.
It's all on you.
Poisson?
It's all on you to say that. It's not very nice of your captain. No, it's the gamma distribution. Finally, the exponential distribution is the distribution of the time between events in what other discrete probability distribution? This is used to model events that occur with a constant mean rate symbolised by the parameter lambda.
Maybe normal.
Poisson?
Got there in the end. Picture round now, and for your picture starter, you'll see the name of a vegetable in various languages. For 10 points, give me its single-word English name.
Durham Ansel.
Rhubarb.
No. You can have a bit more time, SOAS, but you may not confer.
SOAS Delves.
Cabbage.
No, it's turnip. Take your picture bonuses in a moment. According to Professor Norbert Cole, which one-act tragedy by Oscar Wilde when, and I quote, seen against the background of the social comedies, may at first sight seem like a piece of literary driftwood that has made its way across from decadent France to the shores of Victorian England? Cole refers to the play's title character as a Judean...
SOAS Dawn.
The importance of being earnest.
I'm afraid you lose 5 points. As a Judean princess who became a decadent femme fatale.
Durham Brookfield Pertesini.
Lady Windermere's fan.
No, it's Salome. Take your picture bonuses in a second. I need the name of a civilization here. In September 2023, a sample from the asteroid Bennu was returned to Earth following a 7-year NASA mission. Bennu is named after an avian deity of which ancient civilization, where he was identified with the sun, rebirth, and the gods Atum, Ra, and...
Durham Roberts.
Egypt.
It is ancient Egypt, yes. Right then, Durham, your picture bonuses. Following turnip, your picture bonuses are the names of 3 more culinary vegetables in languages other than English. And you must give me the English name for 5 points. In each case, the main edible part is again a root, rhizome, bulb, or similar below-ground part of the plant in question. First for 5 points.
Could that be...
It's not onion. It's
No, it's definitely not onion.
Any ideas then?
Senza
Or should we just
Taro, I don't know.
should we get that?
Yeah.
Taro.
No, it's ginger. Second,
Oh no, this is
that's
garlic.
garlic, that's
Yeah,
garlic.
yes. And finally, what vegetable is this?
Could it be potato?
Wheat.
I'm gonna
Wait,
be
no,
in
that
trouble.
doesn't grow underground.
What should we go for? Swede.
It's, yes,
Well, I like
Swede.
Swede.
Bad luck, it's carrot.
Oh.
Let's start a question. In the 1870s, the harmonic telegraph, membrane receiver, and liquid transmitter were stages in the development of what?
Durham Nash.
Telephone.
It is the telephone, yes, well done. Your 3 questions, Durham, are on free time. Quote, the expression free time or spare time originated only recently. Its precursor, the term leisure, denoted the privilege of an unconstrained, comfortable lifestyle. Which Frankfurt School philosopher wrote this in The Culture Industry?
So it'll either be Adorno, Walter Benjamin. Just go Adorno.
Yeah.
Adorno.
It is Theodore Adorno.
Well done.
Another quote. One of the symptoms of approaching nervous breakdown is the belief that one's work is terribly important and that to take a holiday would bring all kinds of disaster. These words appear in The Conquest of Happiness, a 1930 work by which British philosopher?
That could be
Russell.
Bertrand
Yeah,
Russell.
Bertrand
Could be
Russell.
Bertrand
Yeah.
Russell.
I think is G Moore.
I have no.
Should we go with Russell?
Yeah.
Russell.
It was my hero, Bertrand Russell. Finally, a quote. Free time, which is both idle time and time for higher activity, has naturally transformed its possessor into a different subject, and he then enters into the direct production process as this different subject. Which political philosopher wrote this in his manuscript Grundrisse, which remained unpublished at the time of his death in 1883?
1883 is Marx, no?
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
Marx
that's
knows.
around
Yeah, Karl Marx.
It is Karl Marx, yes. Since 2004, the city of Çanakkale in western Turkey has been home to a 12-metre-high statue of what legendary object? It was presented to the city after the completion of an epic film that starred Eric Bauer.
SOAS Lambert.
Is it the Trojan horse?
It is the Trojan horse, yes. Your bonuses, SOAS, are 3 questions on the mythological figures depicted in Botticelli's Primavera. In the left half of the painting, the minor goddesses named in Hesiod as Aglaea, Euphrosyne and Thalia, or brightness, joy and flourishing, are shown dancing together in a circle. These goddesses are also known in Roman myth by what collective name?
I think the Fates.
The Fates. Okay, the Fates.
No, it's the 3 Graces. The right-hand side of the painting depicts the transformation of the nymph Chloris into which goddess of spring and fecundity through the embrace of Zephyrus, god of the west wind?
Demeter.
Demeter, okay. Demeter.
No, it's Flora. Which major Roman god is depicted on the far left of the painting? He is recognisable by his caduceus and winged sandals.
Would it be
Apollo.
Mercury.
Mercury, yes.
Mercury.
I think. Mercury.
Yes, correct. Let's start a question. I need a 2-word term here. Attributed to the US journalist John Sullivan in the 1840s, what idea or belief was used in relation to and as justification for Western...
SOAS Hasler.
Manifest destiny.
Well done, it is manifest destiny, yes. Your bonuses then, SOAS, are 3 questions on evolutionary biology. From Greek words meaning tribe and origin, what name is given to the diagrams used in evolutionary biology that branch out to demonstrate evolutionary relationships between species over time?
Like the Clades, C-L-A-D-E-S.
Yeah.
Okay, nominate Dawn.
Clades.
No, I think you're thinking of a cladogram, but that's a slightly different thing. The answer is actually phylogenetic tree. The molecular clock method can be used to construct phylogenetic trees by assuming that the rate of which process, which includes missense, nonsense and silent types, is constant over time.
Would it be mutation? Mutation.
Yes, many branches stemming from nearby points on a phylogenetic tree indicate that the adaptive version of what evolutionary process has occurred, where multiple species form quickly from a common ancestor. The variation in Darwin's finches arose from this process.
Adaptive radiation.
Just adaptation.
Adaptive radiation.
Yes, we said that, radiation or adaptive radiation. A music round now, and for your music starter, you're going to hear a piece of popular music. For 10 points, name the British sitcom which used this piece as its title song.
Durham Brookfield Pertesini.
Peep Show.
Yes. For your music starter, you heard Harvey Danger's Flagpole Sitter, which was adopted as the title song for the sitcom Peep Show from Series 2. Earlier series featured a simple theme tune with the occasional episode having a piece of popular music playing during the credits. Your music bonuses will be 3 of these credit songs from the early series of Peep Show. 5 points for each musician or band you can name. First, the 2 singers here.
No.
I literally just watched this episode.
Yeah.
I don't know who sings. Any ideas at all?
Frank and Nancy Sinatra, why not?
Frank and Nancy Sinatra.
No, it was a modern version. It was Robbie Williams and Nicole Kidman. Secondly,
The song. It is.
No, nothing.
Nothing.
No, let's just pass it.
Yeah.
Pass.
it's Harry Nilsson. And finally,
Enya. It's Enya.
Enya.
of course it's Enya. Well done, yes. 10 points in it. Now let's start the question now. Fingers on buzzers. Since 2002, the radio chemist Dawn Shaughnessy has been a member of the team involved in the discovery and naming of chemical elements 114 to 118 at the National Laboratory in which Californian city? Element 116 is named after both the laboratory and the city.
Durham Roberts.
Livermore.
Yes, well done. It is Liverpool, yeah, well done. Your bonus is, Durham, 3 questions on the 19th century Mexican president Benito Juarez. Of Zapotec ancestry, Juarez was the first indigenous Mexican president. He was born in 1806 in which state of southwest Mexico?
Right, southwest, we're looking at Oaxaca, Chiapas, maybe Acapulco. That's the city. Go with Chiapas.
I'll nominate you.
No. Yeah, nominate me.
Nominate Nash.
Oaxaca?
Yes. During the 1860s, Juarez defended national sovereignty against foreign intervention. Most notably, he fought which country, whose leader attempted to install Maximilian of Austria as his puppet?
Is it Habsburg, Austria?
Yeah, but Napoleon, didn't Napoleon... No, Napoleon
I thought it was
was
like
late.
1860s.
Yeah, so I think it's Austria-Hungary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are they looking
Or did
for
they say
the empire or the
country
ruler?
or leader?
I don't know. Should we go Habsburg, Austria?
Yeah.
Habsburg, Austria.
No, it was France. The ruler was Napoleon III. Bad luck. In 1888, a major city on the Rio Grande in Chihuahua state was renamed in honour of Juarez. It forms a large binational conurbation with which city of West Texas?
El Paso.
Ciudad Juarez is the city on the city on the Mexican side. I'm not sure about.
I just know El Paso is right on the borders. So
Well, I'd like that then. It's not San Antonio.
San Antonio.
It's not San Antonio.
El Paso.
El Paso. Yeah.
El Paso.
Correct. That's the question. What is the name of the artificial lake created by the construction of the Aco Sombo Dam? By surface area, the largest human-made lake in the world.
Durham Nash.
Lake Mead.
No, I'm afraid you lose 5 points. It shares its name with the river on which it is built.
SOAS Lambert.
Niger.
No, it's Lake Volta. Founded in 1989 in order to increase public interest in national contemporary literature, the August Prize is a prestigious literary prize awarded in what country? It is named after one of that country's most celebrated writers, whose works include A Dream Play and Miss Julie.
Durham Ansel.
is it Germany?
No. Anyone from SOAS?
SOAS Dawn.
Sweden.
It is Sweden, yes. August Strindberg. Your bonuses, SOAS, are on Tolkien's Lord of the Rings, specifically adversaries of Gandalf and his group in The Two Towers. In the chapter entitled The Uruk-hai, whom does Ugluk the Orc describe as the white hand, the hand that gives us man's flesh to eat?
Saruman.
Yes. In The White Rider, Gandalf recounts his battle with which evil being at Durin's Bridge? Gandalf reproaches Gimli for uttering its name.
Nominate Lambert.
The Balrog.
Yes. In The King of the Golden Hall, which royal advisor is described as a wizened figure of a man with a pale, wise face and heavy-lidded eyes?
It might be Grima Wormtongue.
I'll say
I
it.
don't
Okay,
know.
I'll do
Sure.
that. Nominate Lambert.
Is it Grima Wormtongue?
It is. Well done, yes. Fingers on buzzers, guys. Here's another starter for 10. Scores level, 8 minutes to go. Which 1835 opera by Donizetti derives part of its title from a range of hills in the Scottish regions of East Lothian?
SOAS Dawn.
Lucia di Lammermoor.
Yes, that's right. Well done. Your bonuses then, SOAS, are on plants and folk medicine. In each case, name the plant from the description. First, a plant of the genus Panax, the root of the species native to northeast China and Korea, is used in traditional medicine in a preventive rather than a curative manner.
Is it ginseng, do you think?
Oh, yeah, that's it.
Ginseng?
Nominate Doves.
Ginseng?
Yes. Secondly, Withania somnifera, a prominent herb of the Ayurvedic system of medicine, known as the Indian ginseng. It is traditionally used to relieve stress, improve memory, and increase longevity.
I think turmeric's used in medicine.
Okay. Turmeric.
No, it's ashwagandha. Finally, Hypericum perforatum, known as Klamath weed in the western United States. It has yellow star-shaped flowers and is used to treat insomnia and depression.
St John's wort.
John's Wort. Okay.
St John's wort.
St John's Wort.
That's correct, yes. Picture round now, and for your picture starter, you'll see the front cover of a novel from the 1960s with significant wording removed. For 10 points, identify both the book's title and its author.
Durham Brookfield Pertesini.
The Bell Jar by Sylvia Plath.
Good job, you're doing English, isn't it? Yeah, well done. That was the first UK edition of The Bell Jar to be published under the author's real name. Your picture bonuses will be the first UK edition covers of 3 novels, this time from the 21st century, again with wording removed. For 5 points, I want the title and author of each. Firstly,
Never Let Me Go by Kazuo Shigeru.
I'll nominate you. Nominate Brookfield Pertuzini.
Never Let Me Go by Kazuo Shigeru.
yes. Secondly,
We Need to Talk About Kevin, maybe, but I don't know who that's by.
Should pass it.
Wait. Maybe no, it wouldn't be To Kill a Mockingbird. No.
Okay, pass.
it's Vernon Godlittle by DBC Pierre. And finally,
Conversations with Friends by Sally Rooney.
Conversations with Friends by Sally Rooney.
bad luck, it's Normal People by Sally Rooney. Let's start a question. In 1953, Murray Gell-Mann and Kazuhiko Nishijima independently proposed a new property of particles, expressed as a quantum number, to explain why certain hadrons decayed more slowly than would have been expected. What name did Gell-Mann give to this quantum...
Durham Roberts.
Colour.
No, I'm afraid you lose 5 points. What name did Gell-Mann give to this quantum number? It is usually denoted by the letter S. You may not confer.
SOAS Hasler.
Spin.
No, it's strangeness. Inspired by, but distinct from, British Sign Language, what language tool did speech therapist Margaret Walker develop in the 1970s?
SOAS Storm.
Makaton.
It is Makaton. Well done. Your bonuses, SOAS, are 3 questions on the solar system. Expressed in centuries, rounded to the nearest half century, what is the orbital period of Pluto?
2.5 centuries. 2.5 centuries.
Yes. Which dwarf planet, discovered in 2005, takes just over 3 centuries to orbit the Sun?
I don't know. I think make. But I don't know. It's a guess. Make.
Yes, Make. Finally, which of the dwarf planets has the longest orbital period at 5.6 centuries? Its orbit is also the most eccentric and has the highest inclination to the ecliptic.
Just have to guess.
It's a dwarf planet.
Io.
No, it's Eris. 5 minutes to go. Sometimes called the King of Pirates, the Englishman Henry Every is perhaps best known for his successful raid on a convoy of ships belonging to which empire in 1695? The convoy was returning to the city of Surat from a pilgrimage to Mecca and included the treasure ship Ganj-e-Sawai.
Durham Roberts.
The Mali Empire.
No,
SOAS Lambert.
Is it the Mughal?
it is the Mughal Empire, yes. 3 questions for you, SOAS, on suspension bridges. Opened in 1820, the oldest suspension bridge in the world, still in operation, is the Union Chain Bridge, forming part of the Coast and Castles cycle route between Newcastle upon Tyne and Edinburgh. It carries light traffic across which river?
Tyne.
Tyne or Weir?
There's a lot of bridges over the Tyne.
Tyne's a good guess. Yeah.
Okay. Tyne.
No, it's the River Tweed. Sky Bridge 721, the longest suspension footbridge in the world, opened in 2022 at Dolny Morava in a mountainous area northwest of Ostrava. In which European country?
Ostrava's like Austria, isn't it?
Would it be Czech Republic or Slovakia? I don't know.
Could be I don't know.
Slovakia. Slovakia.
Bad luck, it's the Czech Republic. Opened in 2016 and spanning a deep gorge, the Windsor suspension footbridge offers views across an eponymous bay and strait in which territory?
Northern Territory. I don't know. Northern Territory.
No, it's Gibraltar. Listen carefully. Consider the colours of the stars on the flags of Ghana, Algeria and Cameroon. A horizontal tricolour flag with stripes of these 3 colours arranged in that order from top to bottom.
SOAS Hasler.
Germany.
Well done. It is Germany, yes. Your bonuses are 3 questions on an artist. This is a quote. When she began creating abstract paintings in 1906, they were like little that had been seen before, bold, colourful and untethered from recognisable references to the physical world. It was years before Kandinsky and others would take similar strides. Those words from an exhibition at the Guggenheim referred to which Swedish artist born in 1862?
Clint, right?
Any ideas?
Is it Klimt? Not Klimt. Alpers. Sophie Alpers.
Are you sure?
Go on, you go for the Klimt then.
It's Swedish, right?
Come on.
Nominate
Swedish?
Dawn.
Af Klimt.
So I can't accept that. It's Hilma af Klint with an N. Bad luck. In 1915, as the culmination of her project Paintings for the Temple, af Klint produced a group of 3 large canvases whose titles designate them as what type of artwork intended to be placed in a specific position in a church. Another notable example of this type of work is one by Matthias Grunwald at Isenheim in Alsace.
Okay. Nominate Lambert.
Triptych?
No, it's altarpiece. A number of Hilma af Klint's canvases include forms and designs known by what term from the Sanskrit for circle? In Buddhism, such designs represent the universe or enlightenment.
Mandala.
Mandala.
Yes, correct. 2 minutes to go. What two-letter abbreviation links all of these? A cellular organelle that may be rough or smooth.
Durham Nash.
ER.
Yes, your bonuses are 3 questions on Alexander Pope's 1711 essay on criticism. Referring to his birthplace in northern Greece, whom does Pope call the Stagirite? This philosopher wrote numerous authoritative treatises, including the Poetics.
Aristotle. Aristotle.
Yes, according to Pope, which Roman poet, quote, still charms with graceful negligence and without method talks us into sense? Pope lists him as one of the best critics, referring in part to his Ars Poetica.
Horace. Oh, yes, Horace. Horace.
Yes, the essay on criticism is written in rhymed pairs of iambic pentameter lines. By what two-word term is this first form known?
Something meter.
Sonnet?
Sports with something meter.
Just pass it.
Pass.
Pass it.
Heroic couplets. Another starter question. Which of Shakespeare's histories include the words, let us sit upon the ground and tell sad stories of the death of kings? The ruler who speaks these words is deposed and dies at Pontefract.
Durham Roberts.
Richard II.
Yes, your bonuses are on shorter scientific words that can be made using any of the 8 letters of the word solstice. In each case, give the word from the definition. First, in biology, a term denoting small groups of cells differing in nature and structure from surrounding cells. It is used in conjunction with the name Langerhans when referring to part of the pancreas.
Islets.
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 Yes, secondly, a 7-letter word for a small bone or bone-like plate. For example, one of the 3 bones of the middle ear.
Ossicle. No.
No.
That's in solstice, isn't it?
Yeah, yes.
Ossicle.
Yes, finally, in soil science, a 4-letter word meaning fine-grained minerals ranging between clay and sand in size. They're often deposited by rivers
Silt.
when the flood... Yes, another starter question. What 10-letter term can follow Compton, Coulomb, Brillouin...
Durham Roberts.
Scattering.
Yes, your bonuses are 3 questions on the 1940 Battle of Britain. Who became head of fighter command in 1936, continuing in this post until after the Battle of Britain? His organisation of air defences was a major factor in the British victory.
Maybe Field Marshal Haig? I don't know.
Any other ideas?
Go for it.
Haig.
No, it was down in at the goal. Durham at 150 and SOAS at 150. Right then, the way this works, guys, and it is for a place in the second round, is we're going to do another starter question. All that needs to happen is for the scores to change. In other words, if you interrupt and you're wrong, your team loses 5 points and you're out. If you get it right, you go through. Right then, fingers on buzzers. Meanings of what term include in literary criticism, a category of fiction that lies between mainstream and science fiction, and in aeronautics, the current of air that is pushed downwards or backwards by a rotor or propeller?
Durham Ansell.
Downwash.
No. Anyone from SOAS, you may not confer. No, I'll tell you, you've timed out. The correct answer was slipstream. Yeah. All right, here we go again. Fingers on buzzers. The guanaco is the wild ancestor of which domestic animal? It is a member of the camel family, native to South America, and is related to the...
SOAS Lambert.
Alpaca?
No, and I'm afraid you lose 5 points, and that means Durham have won. The correct answer, I'm so sorry to tell you, SOAS, was the llama. Bad luck, guys. Guys, what a thrilling contest against such a fantastic team, and you were so far ahead for so long, and then you sort of disappeared for the last 5 minutes as they came roaring back. But it was a wonderful performance. We've loved having you. Thank you so much. Durham, my goodness, you made that as stressful as possible. But what an amazing comeback in the last 3 minutes. That was absolutely riveting. How'd you feel?
Stressed.
Relieved.
Well, you better de-stress because we're going to see you again, and it's a thrilling prospect. I hope you can join us next time for the first of the second round matches. But until then, it's a fond farewell to SOAS.
Goodbye.
Bye.
It's goodbye from Durham.
Goodbye.
Bye.
And it's goodbye from me. Goodbye.